Hello everybody. Sorry for the slight delay. It's quite a day so far. But I hope now everything will be fine. While coding a bit on Vines and on Duru. So basically picking up where we left off last week. So yeah, hope you had a great start to the week. In Germany there was a holiday yesterday, and thus today is practically my Monday. And Mondays always tend to be like hectic because stuff has been laying around since Friday that you need to work on, and yeah. And there's a bunch of stuff you have to do, and then there's a stream on top of it, and yeah, you do four things all at once, and there's chaos, and then you're 5 minutes late, but it's all right, I hope. Yeah, I want to show you what we will be doing today, besides hopefully finishing off the vines. Where are we going? No. Where am I? I'm lost now. Here we are. Okay. This is where we wanted to go. Off stream, I fixed the issue with the vine, and that's to follow along with the vine itself. And also short on what might be good to work on next. So today we want to work on the vines because we last week we had a bit of a discussion on stream, Verena and I, how we best should let the user decide what size of vine they want, we have a similar way of doing it with the boulder. And have a boulder that you can push around. It's basically a box, and you can paint another box on top, and then it becomes basically a wall where Bale isn't able to go through, and block him off and do your thing without him interfering. And this way we want to say, okay, if you have a small vine and you paint again, then it becomes a middle one, and then if you paint again, a big one. So this is what we want to do. And if we are able to finish it, we want to make a fast travel system basically, which is useful for navigating the Moorred colony, because you have like quite a big level for the colony with all the different spots of interest, and getting around there might be, if you just want to go from one spot to the next, you don't have to run through all the houses there are, and along all the hallways and tunnels, you just go to one of these fast travel points. And that's what we want to start maybe today, if we make good time with the vines. Otherwise we started to. All right, then let's get into Unity. And if it's not collapsing, because it happened as well. Because of course. So let me show you what we did last week, and then we can go on from there. Right, Unity was having a bit of a hiccup there, but I hope it's... Oh, okay, so if you are still there, might be an issue. Yeah. Alright, yeah, but now if the vine is growing and we rotate it, everything works fine. Also, when we step on it, oops, and beer starts eating, the end of the vine is correctly. And now I want to show you what we want to do with the vine. So we have this box, and right now we can, push it around, and of course it becomes harder because this little creature is up there. But we can basically paint over another box on this box, and then it becomes like these unpassable wall. So I mean, we can try and jump over there, or we can maybe be quick and block from this side. Or we can make Bale a mountain goat, and then it's up there and we are down here and we can do our business as long as we run too far away. Yeah, and we can get him down and it works. And this is basically what we want to do for the vine, that when we have it, when we paint it, then it only goes to the small size, and if we paint a vine over a vine that's already there, then it goes to the middle one, and so on. You get the idea. We think that's like the best way to handle the situation without making it too confusing, because now we have a mechanic that we use somewhere else as well, and it won't you don't have like 10 different ways of doing a thing. It's like just this one thing that you apply to 2 different items. All right. And to do this, we need to find the vine script. Sorry, I'm pouring a drink while Visual Studio is loading. I can't code without caffeine, and that's a fact. All right. So first things first, we need to define what is a small vine, what's a middle vine, what's a big-sized vine. And right now we only have, the maximum size. It's at 15, so we can just say, okay, small vine is 5, middle one is 10, and big. So yeah, I think we just go for that for now, and otherwise, we can always change it. So we have another float. It's our middle size vine, and it's 10. And then another one, and this one is the small size, and it's 5. And I think what we can do to finally make this a bit cleaner is to define regions. Like so. And what we can do now that we have so many variables, we can minimize some of them. It's a bit less and cluttered as well. So I think we put in the height stuff here as well. And what else? I think we can make a region for the needed components. And all of this in there. And then we make a region for manipulation variables. So basically everything we can, variables. So pretty much everything that is used to, you know, to influence what the vine is doing, like its angle and the speed at which it is growing or at which it is munched by Bear. That's all here. And those two are it on its effects. Alright, okay, so now this looks looks a bit more tidier. And not sure if we still need to add something to here, but now it's a clean clean structure. Right. Now when we grow our vine, I think we need to define target height. We have something like this. I'm not sure if and where we use it, so let's have a look. Mark all of it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the target size is set when it's awake. And I think here the target size needs to be at first a small size, because awake is called upon when the vine is first created. And when it's first created, then we know it's the first time we draw something, and then it's a small vine. So it should only be like at least I hope so. Let's just test it out to be sure. Right. And I will deactivate just when I test and he starts, you know, continuously munching all the vines. Pain. All right. This is, yeah, that's 5 Unity units. All right. Okay. Now that we have this, we probably need a function when we draw over the vine again that we grow it further, right? Where we will do it. I just put it needs to be public because we want to access this from Tuli when she's drawing again. So let's see. how do we call this function? I mean, it's there to enlarge line. Not this word. Grow to next size. Okay, that's what we're going with. Grow to next size. And I was so excited about finding the name that I hit the voids there. That says that there's no return. Grow, yeah. Burrito. Hello. Wasn't the exact time. Yeah, I know. But you know, there's a delay between and the me. But the thing is, we already have a grow function, so this is what we needed, and we got it. All right. So what we need to say is that the what do we need to say? I mean, we need to know at which like state we are, right? And we need to know. As you're a very smart girl. So let's see. We need to know at which size we are, and we need to know where to go, because when we delete a vine, then we delete it like one step downwards, right? So I think we want an enum for that. Vine size, and the vine size is small, medium, or large. Okay. And then we need a current vine size, and we put it here because we cleaned up. Vine size, current vine size, and then when we awaken right here, vine size is small. Okay, and now okay, now we can make a differentiation that world and that short circuit. We can make a differentiation between which size we are, and then go to the next one and set the target size accordingly. So we will have a switch for this. I mean, with resize it, it doesn't really matter that much if we make a switch or an if else. But I mean, a switch looks a bit cleaner. So we have the current vine size, and then we have the case it's small. It's vine size small, and then we need to set the target size to I think we need to put the scale into account. Yeah, basically this, right? We need to put the scale of our vine into account. So we say if this vine is small, Then it needs to go to the medium. Oh, I call it middle size. Okay. Middle size divided by focus scale. And we also need to say that our current vine size is medium now. So, and the other case is that our vine is already a medium vine. And then our target size needs to be the large? No. Maximum size. I need to rename these variables. Alright. And then our current vine size is large. Okay. Why are you doing this? Oh, sorry. It was on me. Right. So we have like all the cases, because if it's already, what are we doing when it's already too big? We are just doing nothing, but we need to send some sort of. So maybe we want to return a bool. You know, a bool that says it's possible to grow. And if not, then we maybe have the animation that Tully has when she runs out of paint. So that you know it's not a bug or it's not something that it's wrong with the game, it's just something that is. So what we want to do then is define a bool here in the function and say possible to grow. And set it to true, and then if the vine is large, we set it to false. Say back here. And then after this, we return possible to grow. All right. And what we also need to do is that we need to set the variable that says if the vine is growing or not. To true. All right, just in these two cases, because otherwise it can't grow. All right. Okay, so I think that should be it on this side. At least I hope so. If not, I will get wind of it soon enough. But for now, we just go with it and move on to Tully. And also, I need to all the other tasks because this is too messy. Okay, and Tully will try to paint a vine in the animation event. This function is basically getting called at the end of a drawing animation. All right. And it's the spawn object. Okay. And here you can basically see the same thing for the boulder. So here we are checking if the boulder is spawned inside another boulder. And now we need to check the same for the vine. And maybe we can copy paste magic. So let's see. Now we say game object spawn line in line. Let's stick to the naming that I established here. Okay, and we need the object to spawn and the position. Makes sense. We take it. And then default that we return is null. Because if there's not a game object we spawn this thing on or in, then, you know, there's just nothing there. Alright. So we get the collider of the object, and then we make a box cut out of it. This won't do here because the object we want to spawn is too small. But we can still use the box cast. Alright, and instead of the collider we want to spawn on the position, we just make up our own size. So this is just the spawn position and a little bit above the ground. Also need another layer. Right, okay. But for now this is the size of the box, and I think it's just 1 by 1 is fine. If not, we change it. You know, notice there's nothing getting hit. Alright. The layer is a layer mask. So, and these are the physical layers stored so we know what to hit or not to hit. So we say vine layer. And then use it down here. Spawn vine and vine. And this is vine layer now. Alright, so now if we hit something, if our hits dot lengths are bigger than 0, oh, that's also a bit of code that is quite old. I mean, it's, you know, if we hit something, then we know there's a vine, right? So maybe just check that it's not the object we want to spawn. So why do we need an array? Array? Yeah, maybe if we hit the thing that we want to spawn. So we need to check if for each hit object basically. So for each raycast hit to the hit in hits. If hit dot collider dot game object doesn't equal the spawn object, so basically the new vine, just to return the game object of the hit object, right? Let me think. This is how we do it. All right. Hello Toby FFS and hello Tautsi E. The language I'm coding with is C#, and for Duru we use the Unity engine. If it lets show us, it sometimes is a bit a moody engine. Hope you had a great journey, Tautsi. Are you back now, or are you still on the road and just checking in? All right. So we have this vine and vine. We'll be able to make it one. You make a small rest. Almost in Letland now. All right. Then I hope the rest of the journey will be a safe one. Okay. Well, I hope you make it in time for the ferry. Right. Let's see. So for everybody who just joined, the goal is to we have these vines that we can draw with our character here. And right now it just, grows to a certain point, and we can't do anything to make it bigger or to control the size. And we want to use the same mechanic we have for this box, which you can turn into a wall, to use for the vines, because you can rotate them and then grow some other vines on them, but maybe you want to make this one to reach somewhere high. And here we just basically use the same button, paint over this, and we want to use the same concept on the vine as well, because otherwise it might become confusing to the players. And that's what I'm currently trying to figure out. For the boulder, the box that turns into a wall, it checks whether or not there's a collider of the same type. And for the vine, we also need to check if there's a boulder. Elsie says, I wish you a great programming session. I would most likely join the session tomorrow again, but for now I would have to go pirate. Yeah, please take care of yourself and have a great journey. Hopefully see you tomorrow. And then we can show you how well we can create vines, hopefully. Alright. So we need to check if the vine is in the wall. And I wonder now if this is an issue. I mean, we only need to check at the spawn position, right? So we can just take away all of this and make it a smaller enough function, maybe? So we asked, did you just learn C# or can you code in other languages too? I use C# the most because it's the language that Unity works with. But I have a background in computer science, so I can code other languages as well, or at least know how to get quickly enough into them. But yeah, I started off with functional programming language that nobody knows that hasn't studied at the TU Berlin. It's called Opal, and then I moved on to Java and had a little bit of C and C++ and a tiny bit of C++. And then it's mainly C# from there, because then I started my game design studies, and after that, let's just work in Unity basically. How about you? Are you a programmer or are you learning programming? Right. So just to be on the safe side, to make a debug log to see if this hit. Okay, just started this year. It's like computer science or specifically like game development? Python first semester. Oh yeah, I know this one. Where I studied and then later taught programming. They also start with Python. I nearly forgot. And they learned it on Raspberry Pis because you can make you can add so many like sensors and inputs. It's really a great system. Applied information system is I'm studying. Okay. I think Python is a great way to start learning. Also, it teaches you to have a clean code, because otherwise it won't work. You don't have all the brackets and stuff. Right. So this is how we check it, and then now we need to use the action. Alright, basically here. So we spawn the object we want to paint here, and usually it's just creating it and putting it in the scene. But for the vine, this will be a little bit different. So we need to check if we are spawn a vine in a vine. At least we're trying to. No. Oh, there we put the argument. We need, of course, the spawn position. So we need it afterwards. Okay. Let's see this. It's a game object that we try to store something in, and like it's a potential vine. We don't know yet if there is one. And if our potential vine isn't null, then we say I talk potential vine. So, and we want to say if our vine isn't null, when we say potential vine dot get component, so we access the script that is on this game object, which is a vine, and we say grow to next size, and this should be it, hopefully, and otherwise else we do all of this basically. So these 3 lines are instantiating the vine, which is just creating it and putting it into the scene. Then we position it correctly and add it to our objects and scene. Okay, for now that seems to make sense, at least to me. Hopefully Unity agrees. Did I save? Yes. All right. This is our small-sized vine. All right, okay. So now we have 2 small-sized vine stuck in each other. It's not what I wanted. Oh, okay. I have an idea. It's probably because I didn't specify the vine layer. And I need to do this here. Yeah, it's a bit small, but basically the vine layer is set to nothing, and I need to set it to the vine. Okay, let's try this again. So this is our small vine, and okay, and this is a medium vine apparently, and now it's quite a big vine. Okay, but if we hit the button again, it's nothing is happening. It doesn't grow any further. So, all right, maybe we need to adjust the sizes because this is now, this is ridiculous. Or maybe not. I will see. I have to talk to Sandra about level design and what she thinks about the sizes. Okay, so let's test if everything else works. Yeah, we can still rotate it. And we can still walk on it and grow even more vines. And we can make some small. And this didn't hit the vine. And this is the wrong one. Okay. Wow, okay. Still some slight issues. Some details we need to sort out. But the basics we have down now. Let's see, we need to be a bit more precise about the vines and how to hit them, I feel. I think we are not checking far enough. Yeah, spawn vine and vine. Let's see. Have all the arguments. This is the origin, the first one. Then it's the size, then it's the angle, and then the direction. I mean, we could. Oh, not sure if you saw that, but it's just there was a lightning outside. Hope the German infrastructure is well maintained enough to endure the thunderstorm that is coming. If not, I'm sorry, you have been warned now officially. Alright, so we need to check in the direction Tully is looking at. So let's see if we have a reference to her. Yeah, we have a reference to the Tully controller. And there in the movement controller, I think we have a function that says in which direction she's looking. Yeah, it's orientated right. Alright, this function returns true if Tully is looking to the right and false if she's looking to the left. And now we can make use of one of my favorite shorthands in C#. So this is the direction we want to look at. And now we can, instead of making an if-else construct, do this. And this is basically saying, okay, if this is true, then we use the first value. So we now know she's looking right, so we can say vector2 dot right. Otherwise, which is symbolized through these dot. Sorry, the word escapes me, but you can see this. It's like the two dots on top of each other. If the thunder is too loud and picks up on stream, let me know, then like maybe change a bit the sound checkings. Check the sound settings. Right, otherwise left. And I think I said this 1,000 times, but I love this shorthand just too damn much. Because it makes everything like this is usually is like four lines of code, and then we reduce it to one, and it's nice. Right, now we say here that we make use of the direction and maybe check a little bit further, like so, in front of us, and this way hopefully hit the right vine and not just paint a new one. Let's save and see if it suddenly coding became a bit. There's a thunderstorm going out there. Okay, let's have a look. So it's like a bit. Okay, so this seems to work. And if I'm doing like so, it doesn't, but that's fine because we are quite a way away. It's hailing now, just to give you an update. Do you do 3D modeling as well? Asks Toby. No. Like I learned it in our game design studies, but yeah, right now I don't do it. This is a game we're working on, and we're a team of 3, and I'm responsible for story and concept and programming. Like concept is like split 3 ways basically, like the overall what is happening and what main mechanics do we want. And then Verena, not sure if she's still in the chat. If she is, she can maybe say hi. She's responsible for the lovely art style, for the characters, and basically everything visual. And our third one, Sandra, she's like responsible for level design, concept as well, and then marketing. Ah, there she is. Also, if you're interested in the game, you can find it here. Oh my, there's still people outside. I'm kind of sorry for them. I hope they get in quick because it's rain and hail and thunder. It's really everything. It's Oh, nice. I'm very glad I'm inside. All right. So let's see. This was working. The thing is now that we, can make it grow larger, we need to shrink it. And for this we need reduce to small size, maybe? Reduce to smaller size is probably a good function name. Okay. And there we also need to make basically the same switch. This is efficient programming. It's not being lazy, it's copy-paste is efficient programming. And then we also need to say if the thing can still shrink, because if not, we can just simply delete it. Okay. So if our vine is already small, then we can say it's not possible anymore to shrink it. Just say false. All right. Now, if our vine size is medium, then we want to reduce it to the small size. So this is our new target. And then we want to set it to medium. And we will need to check if we can do it with this function. But we can do already is set the... Oh no, we don't need to. So we asked, how long have you all been working on the game? It's quite a while now. It started I think 3 years ago as a part-time project, and we were doing freelance work on the side. And then for the past 1 to 2 years now, we had the opportunity to work full-time on it because we got funding, which is, the main issue if you're a small studio and just starting out. This will be our first own IP commercial project, and yeah, hopefully it will get finished this year, this summer even. Yeah, I think we are on a good way for it. But I don't want to jinx it, especially not with the dramatic weather that's outside. Have you worked on a game before? Like maybe on a game jam or something? Alright, we will definitely copy this over. I'm here. And this will become a medium. Medium? Really size. Still need to sort out the things. No, never. This is all new to just started. Okay, yeah, if you, just like you already do, if you have more questions, just ask away. Also, if you like to have a go on Unity, it's free. The personal version is free, and you can already do quite a lot of it. And I think switching from Python to C#. It's basically what like the program or the game design course we all went, like Sandra, Verena, and I, we met there during our studies. They do it this way. They have Python first, using the Raspberry Pi, like coding some simple projects, and then move on to C# and Unity. And the good thing with Unity is that you have like a lot of content online. Like there's a good community, you have lots of people doing online tutorials. So it's always good if you have some references there and can something up from other people. All right, so we have adjusted all of this, and now we need to see if growing equals shrinking in as a function I did for it. Okay. I'm just thinking if I can like reuse this thing and write it in a way that I don't need to make an entire function. Because the only thing I need to change is this, the calculating the. What I could do is change the speed. So I can say grow to next size, and then okay, let's just see if this works. If not, we can always change it. So we can say like speed is the absolute value of the speed, because it's always a positive. And if we want to reduce this, we say that our speed is the absolute value multiplied by -1. So this is shrinking, right? Okay, let's just see if we. Can you use C# and Unity for work other than gaming development? C#, yeah. So it's basically yeah, it's just like Java. You can write all sorts of applications with it using Visual Studio and I forgot the name of the environment you program in, but basically, yeah, all sorts of programs. And in Unity, I mean, you can make applications that are not game related in Unity as well. Sometimes it might make sense if you have like a lot of animation or stuff to interact with. Maybe if it fits. And also Unity can be used or is used to make movies as well. If you have a look at the website, they have like an example movie because you can render 3D. You have all sorts of effects you can put in. Yeah, as well. I always find that it's a bit more suited for 2D games, or at least you have more functionality for 2D games than, for example, the Unreal Engine, which is as a personal version also free. And I feel like there it's much more easy to make 3D art look good. In Unity you can achieve this as well, but you have to get a bit more into shader, although they're working on it. They have like now a shader graph that it's very intuitive. So yeah, I think it's just you know, there are small differences in handling it, and it depends on preference. Like the Unreal Engine works with C++, which I'm not as fluent in as C#. Obviously because I use Unity a lot, so it, you know, it depends on each other. All right. We now have hopefully added the functionality to shrink our vines. They are like bigger. And now we need to integrate this as well. So I think it's in the default state of our character. Thank you for following, Toby. I hope when you want to start in game design or want to know more about Unity that you find some stuff here. Okay, where's my class? Default. Totally default. There we go. All right, here we should have a function for deleting stuff that Julie has painted. Yep. This is the one. And it's this one, remove object. And I think here we already have a special type if we hit a boulder, as it's here. Yeah, if this is a paint. Oh, all right. And now we need to do the same thing for our vine. So if the object we want to delete has a tag, I think, painted vine. In Unity, every game object has like tags where you can identify them with. It's like a set, you can define them yourself and then use them to identify what you're dealing with. And now we know that we are dealing with a vine, and we need to say, all right, if it's still possible for our vine to shrink, so we need to get access to the script. So we say painted object dot get component and then vine. How did we call the function? Reduce to small size. Okay. Reduce to small size. And this should already handle, everything. So it should shrink if it can. If it can't, which happens when this returns false, so we make an exclamation mark in front of it. So if it's not possible to reduce to small size, then this becomes true. Then we need to take care of it, I guess. Or is this happening here? Yeah, it's happening. So other way around, if it's possible to shrink, then we need to return. So everything that follows after this point isn't called. And we just shrink it. Otherwise, it will get deleted in theory. Okay, let's see if it matches up with practice. All right. So this is a small vine, and we want to delete it now. And it gets deleted. Okay, so this is small vine. We paint again. It becomes a medium vine. And if I press the delete button now, then it should shrink. Doesn't. No. Okay. Let's find out what's not happening. So it has a tag. So if we hit this thing, then it should get deleted. So why isn't it? Let's make a debug log here. If we say, like, if we get this debug log in the console, then we know the vine is recognized. And then we know there's probably something wrong with how we shrink. Alright, let's do this. Make it twice as big and try to delete it. And we are hitting the vine. Right, that's fortunate. That means something here isn't working. Question is what? Here we say, no, where is it? Okay, so we basically reverse the speed. We say it's negative, so it should shrink. Right? And then we change the current height like this. Is this function called? I mean, it. Oh, okay, so this is a problem. Okay. Yeah, so we need to work on this statement. Because right now it says if the current height of our vine is smaller than the target one, then we want to grow. But the thing is now our target size is by default smaller than the current height. So we need to make some more brackets and say, okay, if our speed is bigger than 0, so we know it's positive, and our current height is smaller than the target size, or our speed is, smaller than 0, and our current height is bigger than the target size. And now we need some more brackets for this. So, and then if this is true. So what we did is we say, if this statement is true, or this statement is true, and this variable is true, then we need to grow. I hope. Okay, let's try this. Oh, it's growing. Still works. Moment of truth. I will delete it. No. Why isn't it gone? Okay, now I can't delete it anymore. Why not? I'm hitting it. Okay. What is going wrong? I mean, we could delete. We were able to delete it earlier. Oh, this. Because when we shrink it, it becomes not a medium size, but a small one. So, is that it? Let's see. Oh, paid it once, think twice, and just for good measure, we will make it a large one, and then try to shrink it. Which works, and it works again, and we can delete it as well. All right. This is what we want. Okay, so now we need to make sure of some other stuff. So let's test this a bit further. We can grow a vine on another vine. And the question is, what happens if I now draw again? Oh, okay. So it grows the right one. Good. Okay. So this all works. Okay. I delete this. Yeah. What happens if I shrink this? Oh. Okay. What happens if I delete this? Okay, this is a problem now. This has no connection to the ground, it's just hanging in the air. And that's not what we want. Okay, what we ideally want is if we have a structure that is like this. We have this, and we then want to delete the bottom one. Then it should first delete everything that is, attached to it. So if I delete here, it should have deleted this one that's now hanging in the air. And I can still delete it. But if it's higher up in the air, somewhere I can't reach, then I'm out of luck with deleting things. Okay, how do we deal with this? Should have been here, right? So if we reach the code that it's after, then we know that we hit a vine. and we know that we can't shrink it, and we want to delete it. And now we need to make sure that it's the last one, right? Last week we did some things so vines can grow on other vines. And somewhere stored all the vines. Yeah, so these are all the vines that are attached to another vine. Also the vine it's attached to. Okay. So we need to rewrite this one here. Oh, and there's also a to-do I need to do, but haven't gotten around to it yet. Okay. So if this vine... So this vine checks if it has a parent, and if so, it removes itself from, you know, the list of all the vines that are attached to the parent. But we also need to do the other way around, right? We need to check if there are vines attached to this. Okay, how do we do this? Because there can be like multiple layers of attached vines, right? So make it like somewhat recursive. So if attached vines dot count is less or equal to 0. I mean, in theory, it can never be less than 0, but you know, just to make sure, you never know. If so, then we say destroy all of this, like the vine. Otherwise, we say destroy attached vines 0 dot destroy vine. Right? That's everything. If wait, we need also to do this, right? Because if this thing has a parent, it needs to know that it removed itself. I mean, this... Right. Let's have a think. We the vine can't shrink anymore because it's already small, and then it gets destroyed. And when it gets destroyed, it checks, do I have vines attached to me? And if not, then I will check if I have a parent, and if I do, then I will remove myself from it, and then I destroy myself, is what is happening. And otherwise, I will call the destroy function on one of the vines attached. And with this, it basically works the same, right? So it's recursive, which I always feel a bit suspicious of. Let's just see. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? Okay. So we have vine and paint another one onto it. Also rotate it. Oh, we have a bridge now. And if I now want to delete this, it deletes the one that is attached. And then this. Okay. So let's see how far we can push this. If we have this happen. Whoops. Okay, we have fine. And then on top of it, we create line. And on top of this, create. And oh, just for good measure, we will create a second line. Okay, so now we basically made a tree. Can climb. Alright, and if I go down here and press delete, what happens? Okay, now this vine is gone. Okay, next one. Alright. And we are not having even an error. Yeah, it's unusual, but it works. Great. Okay. Oh no, that was the to-do that I very much still need to do, so it stays there. Okay. Let's see what else. Is there something else we haven't thought of, like some weird case? Oh, I mean, the same goes with the shrinking, right? I will have a quick like this. If we yeah, right. But maybe we run into a different problem now. Like if we have now a big vine. And we put another one at the end here, like so. And now we delete this. Yeah, we zip a bit all over the place, and now we have the same problem as before. So basically, the function to shrink a vine needs to mimic the one to destroy one. Right? Also, if I destroy now this, yeah, okay, the other one is still attached. Okay, we need to avoid this mess. And we do this by going into the vine script and check for the reduction of a small vine, I guess. No, of those. If our vine is medium or large, then we also need to check if yeah, if the vine has another vine attached to it. Okay. Let's just mimic the way we did it with the destruction of the vines, and it will work. Did this before. Right. Now we need to check if we have attached vines. If attached vines.count, which attached vines is a list, and the count is the number of elements that are in this list, is bigger than 0, then we need to say return size, but of the attached vine. So we need to say attached vine gets the first element, and then say reduce to small size. No? Oh, it's plural. And I think the same goes for the large one. Okay. All the yellow ones here are warnings. That is errors. In case you were but most of those are for fmod, which is an add-on for audio. At least I will. Okay, now this is a medium-sized vine. Then we need to... Yeah, let's just put another medium-sized vine on it. And go here and try to delete. And this is shrinking. And now this is deleting. And now it's shrinking. Alright. I mean... Seems to work fine. One thing I'm not sure of, if when I rotate a vine and then I try to make it bigger, I spawn a new one. Oh, and now I'm rotating both of them at the same time. It's a bit odd. Okay. I need to change the way that the vine is recognized. Because if I'm standing here and I press the paint button, as a player I would imagine this will, you know, grow. But it doesn't. So let's figure this out. I mean, this is probably just a case of, you know, not checking far enough for another vine. And we do this here, I think, where we spawn a vine inside another vine. I think checking like 2 Unity units in front of us will be fine. Let's just see. Okay, I rotate it. Then I press X again. Okay. So these are 2 Unity units, like these. And this vine, first one, you know, it's clearly inside. So I'm wondering why it doesn't count, basically. Maybe we're checking too high up and not on the spawn position. But it shouldn't make that much of a difference because this is a cast. So basically we paint an imaginary square, and then we cast it, and everything that is like inside the square will be recognized as something that we hit. So let's rotate this. Okay. And what if we, whoops, what is this? If we rotate it even further. All right, okay. Easy fix, I guess, I take it. And if we delete it, yeah, works fine, even if it's rotated. But the thing was, when I rotate it now, it does this. It always flips to the other side. Oh, and now we have a collider issue, apparently. But why? Let's have a look at the colliders. So this is the ground, and this is a vine. And I think there's an issue between those two. I'm not sure why. Because if this is the collider of the vine, and we are clearly colliding with it, then we should be like pushed up to stand on it. Now if we jump, we're standing correctly on the collider of the vine. But now not so much anymore. Oh, when we run in it from the side. Okay, then we don't get placed on top of it. Oh, and now we're getting pushed away. Okay. Okay, one bug after another. We will take care of the rotation bug. Now I put it. This is a collision bug. Those are competing with each other, and that's what's causing the problem. Right, rotation bug. We rotate the vine somewhere in the vine script. Or not? Not. Oh no, it's in the character script. There is a script for that. It's called adjusting vine. That's what we want. Alright. Here our angle is the angle of the current vine. That's the starting angle. And I mean, that should be alright, right? Let's just see if we get the right angle here. Let's make a debug log. This is the vine starting angle. And it's this. Okay. Now when we make this vine, the starting angle should be 0, which is this. Okay. And if I press F now, the starting angle is 306, which seemed to be right. But now when I press right, it's just flipping over there. And then we have the collision problem. Okay, why is it doing this? Is this a wrong angle? I mean, we're using it here as well. Do we need to clamp the vine? Let's have a look at the vine itself when we rotate it. Okay, the vine has an angle of -56, and now when I rotate it, now it's at 90 degrees, which isn't quite right. What happens if I rotate it this way in the positive numbers? It's now at an angle of 35. Oh, and now it's not an issue anymore. Okay, so it only becomes an issue when we rotate it in the negative number. That's odd. I wonder why. I mean, here we're checking if the angle we are currently using is bigger than the max angle. And the max angle of our vine is 90. I don't get why something going wrong, and I'm having trouble to see what it is. It's again with the rotations in Unity. I run into these weird errors and trouble fixing them. So this is officially -56 is the current rotation, the current angle. If I press it now, then it says the starting angle is 303. Why? Why is this the starting angle? And I feel like a couple of streams ago, we had a similar problem. I mean, we need to clamp it. And I think if like the original starting angle is above 180, then we need to have a negative sign. I mean, it's okay. So the angle is 303, like the starting angle, and it's like going diagonal like this. So if we reduce it by 180, if we reduce it by 360, this is, yeah, I mean, it was, sorry. I hate rotations in Unity. I hate them so much. And every time I think I understand them and I know what's going on, I get reminded that I really don't. Alright, okay. So let's go about this logically. It's at minus 58 right now. And if I try to rotate it again, it's at 301 and a bit. So that's right. Just making sure that I'm not now tricking myself. Yeah, no, that's okay. So right, if our starting angle here we get the starting angle from the vine we are currently intact. And if this angle is bigger than 90, then we need to say the angle equals the absolute value of the angle minus 360. At least I hope that's the case. Because otherwise I have no idea what the rotation is. Being off to go study. Have a great stream. Yeah, good luck with the studying. It's productive, and thank you so much for stopping by. Next time. I hope this is how rotation works. Not, I don't know. I will ban rotation from the game. We don't need it. We can do it without it. Okay. This is at minus 50 now. Praise the gods of Unity. Or goddesses. Okay. That was way harder than coding AI. Look at this. We can now rotate it and it's not flipping all over the place. Really? Okay. Alright. So now comes the $1 million test. You are a hero. Thank you, Marina. now comes the test. If I rotate this, will it flip back when I come from the other side here? Okay. Please, divine. Okay. That's working as well. All right. Can I make it longer? I can. Can I make a stairway to heaven now? What's this? Oh no! This was the wrong button. So probably in the game you won't have enough resources to do this. Building this nice zigzag stairway to heaven. Yeah, I mean, we know now. Oh, if we now delete this down here. Look. Deleting everything. Okay. Great. I mean, was quite the progress. We created small, middle, and big mines. So I think sometime I will have to eat all of this, but for now I like that the done row is much bigger than the to-do list. And yeah, so no fast travel system today. Not sure if we're gonna start with it tomorrow, because tomorrow Verena might join me. And then I thought maybe we can show some level design, because we haven't had this on stream yet. And outside, after the end of the world, it's no sunshine. Verena says yes, we'll be joining. And then we can show off some level design, because we need to create the testing level for our supporters, so they can have a go at all the different things that we put in now and say if they like it, how they like it, what feels wrong, like with the with the controls. And yeah, so this will be happening tomorrow, and this isn't as concentration heavy as programming on the way. And yeah, fun, might be a chill stream. Yeah, so this will be happening tomorrow, 4 p.m. Yeah, and until then, that you have a night, and see you later tomorrow. Sorry, I'm still a bit. So it's time for Firearm. Hopefully you can have Firearm too, and if not, I hope it wasn't too stressful. So goodbye everybody, and I hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye bye.